So today we are going to start training of the database administration. This is not only demo class and class number 1 also, because the introduction part of the database administration I'm doing today, and overview of the training also I'm giving today. What we are going to discuss, everything I'm going to explain today, so that I feel it's not only demo, it is class number 1 also. Okay. So coming to next scenario, this is pure SQL Server DBA, database administration training. It's not database development training. So why I'm giving you that information, database development training, generally, we are going to work with the queries part, tables creation, working with the commands, working with some programs like stored procedures. These are all we are going to work in development. Basic SQL Server training and DDL commands, DML commands, DRL commands, joins concepts, subqueries, views, indexes, primary key, foreign key. Those concepts are purely comes under. Of course, some other concepts also there. Those concepts are comes under development activities. SQL Server development related scenarios. So I'm giving you information in the beginning of the class only today. It's not development class. These things I'm not going to discuss in this. Okay, na? A few things required from SQL Server developer for DBA. Those things I'm going to discuss, except that I'm not going to discuss anything related to queries, commands, stored procedures in this training. So it's not SQL development. If anybody looking for SQL developer, you can disconnect. We will inform you. We are going to start SQL developer Monday evening 5 o'clock. Okay. Monday evening 5 o'clock, we are going to start SQL developer also. We will inform you if anybody looking for developer, because I don't want to waste your time. So this is pure DBA training, database administration training. Okay, let us start our actual scenario. So database administration training, it's pure supporting role. Supporting role means supporting different databases, different database servers, because you developed some database and it is there in the production, means customers will be there, end users will be there. So if they are facing any issues, you are going to resolve them. That is the meaning of supporting role, ticket based work. These are all. If I'm discussing like this, you feel some confusion. You feel some confusions. That's why what I'm doing, I'm going to discuss all these things points wise. I'll start from the base, right? And so coming to next scenario. Now, next step. Let us start with databases introduction. What is database? Why we are using databases? And what is the advantage of working with the databases? And what are the features there in this SQL Server database? Of course, RDBMS, because SQL Server is RDBMS database only, right? And in the same way, what are the DBA roles? Configurations. DBA is going to work with the configurations, and DBA is going to work with the tickets also. Configuration real-time scenario will not be there. Configuration real-time scenario, configuration whether you are doing in your local laptop or real-time, same steps will be there because it's not programming, it's not a development, right? And if it is programming or development, every day we'll get new requirements. We have to work accordingly. So a lot of new things you have to learn there. But here coming to configuration, suppose you go for SQL Server installation. If you are doing SQL installation in your local environment or remote environment, whatever, wherever, the same scenario will be there. But tickets, we have to discuss about some real-time related scenarios. What are the tickets we receive in real-time environment? Those things also we have to discuss. Not today, because today we cannot discuss everything, right? But little introduction I'll give you today. These 4 areas I'm going to concentrate today. These 4 areas are more than enough to get overview of this training. Okay, no? More than enough to get overview of this training. So let us start with the databases. If somebody knows about basics of the databases, please cooperate with us because some new people also there in the training part today, participants. So I'm going to start from the basics only. Generally what happens, you know, you go to maximum projects, IT sector. Those projects contains different layers like this, right? And so we call this layer as a application layer, and we call this layer as a database layer. So now coming to next scenario, you are working with the application means some users will be there for that application. Users are going to connect to application. Through application, they're going to store data in the form of databases. This is general scenario, right? In the same way, sometimes we are going to perform dumping data into databases from file system. We call them as bulk operations. That and all I'm going to discuss in the coming sessions. But anyhow, databases are used to store different types of data, right? And different types of data we are going to store in these databases. And coming to next scenario. Now, why we are using these databases? Because, you know, why we are using databases means there is some alternate for this, right? And what is alternate for this? File system. Even you can see, I mean, you can store data in the form of files also, right? And you can store data in the form of files also. But maximum what happens, you know, we are going to store data in the form of databases only. What is the reason behind that? And moreover, before going to discuss much about those reasons, application every day we are using, I want to give you a little clarity about that also. Application means, for example, you take banking sector. We are using different applications, right? Even third-party applications also we are using, right? And So for example, you have bank account in some bank, you are doing operations by using bank application, but ultimately your data is going to store in bank database only, right? Right. So now coming to next scenario. When we are working with the databases, some important scenarios will be there: storage capacity, security, performance of the database, relation between data, maintaining unique data, not null values in key columns of and key data scenarios. These are all very important points when you are going to store data. You want to store it in database or some other technology, but these are very important. So coming to next scenario, storage capacity. You know, when we are giving training or when you are practicing, generally maximum we are going to work with the MB size of the data, megabyte size of the data. But coming to real-time environment, what happens? You know, we are going to work with the terabyte size of the data. 1 terabyte equal to how much? 1024 GB, 1024 gigabytes. Okay. So in this scenario, working with large databases, working with huge amount of data, that is quite common in real-time environment. So in this case, storage capacity, right? And storage capacity is very important for us. You know one thing, if you're going for file system, you cannot provide storage. That is the problem. So because of that reason only, when you want to work with this type of scenarios, terabyte size of the data, we always work with RDBMS databases only, because RDBMS databases can maintain huge storage capacity, right? And coming to next scenario, security. See, we are working with some database, some production environment, means you are always working with some client's data, because there is no client means there is no IT project. This is quite common scenario. Everybody knows that, right? So in this case, what's happening, you know, security. You are going to maintain customers' data, most valuable data in our databases. In this scenario, if you are not able to provide security, nobody is going to work with you. Nobody is going to use your database, right? In this case, how you are going to provide security? When I'm asking this question, immediate answer from some of you is user management. User management means what? Like, username, password, this type of thing. This is quite common scenario. That's okay, I'm accepting. But for example, we are maintaining some database. In that database, you are going to store data. I already discussed customers' data is always most important for us, most valuable for us, right? And so in this case, what's happening, you know, you are going to store data in the database. Of course, you created user management, usernames, passwords, everything is fine. And so in this scenario, now you lost your database. Then what to do? Okay, na? You lost your database, then what? You lost your database means you're losing data, customers' data, valuable data you're going to lose. So what? That's why security means not only user security, data level security is also very important for us. Creating security for your data like backups, creating duplicate environment for the production environment. So these are all really important for us. So that and all can be provided by RDBMS databases, Microsoft SQL Server database. Okay. Next step, performance. This is very important part of the databases. So performance means what? Speed, accessing speed of the database is comes under performance. Okay. So you're creating some database, you're maintaining data in the database. Now users are going to access data from your database, but you are unable to provide accessing speed. Then what is the use? Nobody is going to use your database, right? And nobody is going to work with your database, right? And so this is really important for us. So accessing speed is always very important for the databases. Suppose you are working with RDBMS databases like Microsoft SQL Server, then only you can provide performance. Otherwise, you cannot. In the same relation between data, if you are maintaining a relation between data, then only performance can be increased, because you know we have different types of data. And okay, we store data in different scenarios, different types of data is there. Okay, now in this case, if you can create relation between that data, automatically performance of the database will be increased. In the same as some key points, key type data, key columns will be there in the databases. Just I discussed about banking sector. In banking sector, what happens, you know, you take suppose account step, customer's data, account number will be there. Can you maintain duplicate data in account number? I mean, can you give same account number to different customers? It's not possible. Can you maintain null value in account number column? It is also not possible. Because what is the value of null? Nobody knows. Null value means empty. So generally we feel like null means zero. It's not zero. Zero is number. Zero is not null. Zero is not null. So these are all very important when we are maintaining databases. These are all can be provided by RDBMS databases. Especially, you know, Microsoft SQL Server database can provide all these features. Because of that reason only, RDBMS, Microsoft SQL Server is familiar in the market, right? Because of these features only. These are all required for the databases. These are all required for the clients to store their data in a safe environment. In safe environment, they want to store data. They need all these features. This is really important for them, right? And so coming to next scenario. Now, let's go to our actual scenario. What is our actual scenario? I discussed already. DBA role. What are the different activities we are going to perform as DBA? Two different scenarios we are going to perform it. But remember, whatever the scenario you are going to work out, that is maximum related to, as a DBA, I'm talking about a DBA role. That is maximum related to support only, monitoring only, resolving issues only. This type of work will be there maximum forever DBA role. And coming to next scenario, now two different roles we do here, we perform here. Configurations and ticket based work, right? And these are the different activities we perform. So now coming to configurations, what are the tasks we are going to discuss? I told you I'm giving overview today. That means maximum topics I'm going to touch. Configuration part starts with the installation of the SQL. So you are a DBA, you are only going to take care of SQL Server installation, no doubt at all. You have to install SQL Server in your environment. After completion of the SQL Server installation only, you can perform other tasks, like for example, creating databases, security related scenarios. In the same way, backups. So backup means copy of the database. Data security purpose, or else sometimes you are going to transfer databases from server to server. We also call it as migration. Generally in project environment, we are going to work with the different scenarios, like for example, deployment, go live, database refresh, like this different scenarios we are going to work out. So minimum 3 servers will be there in every project. Maximum number of servers, maximum number of databases, we cannot predict. That depends on your project only, your client only. But minimum 3 databases, 3 servers are mandatory. In the beginning, development will be done. Then it goes to QA. Then it goes to production. So development environment, only SQL development will be done. That developer will take care of that. Separate team SQL developers will be there. In the beginning of the class today, I explained that also. Then after finishing development, it goes to your QA environment. Testing. They will test the database developed by a developer. If everything is fine, everything is working fine, then they are going to deploy it into production. Deployment means what? You're transferring your database from development environment to production environment and install it in production environment. Because this production server, production database will be connected to application. Just now only I discussed about application and database concept, right? So there we have some database. Which database is going to connect to application production database only? So deployment means you're going to install your product database into production environment. Then go live will start. Go live will start. Right, and go live will start. One second, let me drink water. Coming to next scenario. So this is the way like deployment in the same database refresh means go live. After deployment, go live means application user is going to access your production database. Right? And in the same way, some environments, what we do, not in every project, some environments, some clients will provide production data for testing purpose. So that you have to transfer your database from production to test environment. See here, why I'm discussing these points, you know, how you are going to transfer data from database, server to server. So transferring data from production to test environment, we call it as database refresh. There is some terminology in real-time environment, the project level, every point I'm going to discuss in this training. So here, how you are going to do these tasks, migrations like deployment, go live, database refresh. How you are going to transfer your database from server to server in the form of backup only. By using backups only, we can do those tasks. So that is the importance of backup concept. So in the same way, and these are all configurations. See why I'm giving this much of importance to backup. You know, we are going to create backup jobs also. Job means what's scheduled task. Suppose there is some task you want to do it in regular intervals, you are going to schedule it. That facility we have in SQL. So we call it as job. Okay, backup jobs we are going to create. Not only backup jobs, even other types of jobs also we are going to create and work. Then very important part is DR plan and high availability configurations, and this is very important part of the database administration. Creating duplicate environment for production, for example, log shipping, mirroring, replication, always on. Clustering is outdated because now always on is in trending and nobody using clustering. So even that's why I have not added clustering concept to this training also, because we have to concentrate more on always on. You know one thing, if you are going for always on configuration, you no need to go for log shipping, mirroring, replication configurations. That is the advantage of working with always on group configuration, availability group. So that area also we are going to work out. Just now only I discussed about migration, in the same upgradation. So upgrade is not regular, and suppose you are working with some projects from the past 3 to 4 years, you never participated in upgrade. Okay, there is that is quite common scenario, because upgrade means just you are going to upgrade database from lower version to higher version of the SQL server. See, you know one thing, right now latest version from Microsoft SQL Server is 2022. Still some companies, some projects working in 2012 and 2014 also. Right, and of course 2012 Microsoft stopped support. There 2014, 26 old servers still there in the market. Generally they will not upgrade. That's why you have 3 years of experience, 4 years of experience. You can say I never get a chance to work with upgrade. That is quite common scenario. No need to suspect. Right. So coming to next scenario. After upgrade, PT part is most important part. Performance tuning. Here only we need some knowledge from SQL developer. In performance tuning, we need some knowledge from SQL developer. Suppose how to improve performance of the database environment, how to handle bottlenecks from performance scenarios. Performance means what? Speed, accessing speed of the database. And this is very important part of the database. There are many scenarios, lot of scenarios related to this performance tuning, PT concept that we have to implement. Not only from support environment, even development environment also better to learn something from there. Suppose indexes related scenarios, logs related scenarios. Of course, architecture will clear some part. Architecture is going to show us way to work with some area of the performance tuning. But still better to learn some other scenarios from development. Stored procedures. At least what is stored procedure? Why we use stored procedure? Advantages of the working with stored procedure. Those things I'm going to discuss clearly. Coming to next step, a lot of other configurations there and some miscellaneous configurations, some other things also there. But remember, you are doing some configuration means you have to go for monitoring also. And moreover, every day you are not going to do configuration. Generally, in the beginning of the project, in the beginning of the production start stage, there only you are going to configure these things. You don't need to configure every day, but every day you are going to monitor them. For example, I discussed about backup job and I discussed about backup job. You created backup job today. Next minute onwards, next second onwards, you have to start monitoring it, whether it is working fine or not. But now you ask some questions, sir. Every time do I need to sit in front of my laptop, office laptop, and like this monitoring? No need, Andy. No need, Andy. Because we are going to create some alerts. If any issue is there, then you'll get alert. You have to go for resolution. Those things also there. Database mail configuration, generating mails from the database environment to DBA team. These are all we are going to discuss. Otherwise, no DBA can work like that, right? 24/7 sitting in front of the laptop. It's not possible. Of course, highly impossible, right? So those things, configurations you are doing means obviously you are going to work with monitoring part, no doubt at all. No doubt at all. So migration upgrade, those things also sometime we are going to monitor. You upgraded database from lower version to higher version of the SQL, then you have to check whether it is working fine, whether it is connecting to application, whether users are able to work with the database. You have to check all these things. This is monitoring or not? Monitoring only. No doubt, Andy. You have to learn all these things practically. The reason is you're going to work with the databases, database servers. Sometimes you're going to handle floor, entire floor you're going to handle. Sometimes, not every day, and all. Okay. So this is configuration and monitoring area. The configuration of monitoring real-time scenarios is just bullshit. Because what is there? See, you are doing some, you're creating backup job in my laptop. Same scenario will be there in any environment. Then please don't ask me about real-time, about this configuration. I'm also not going to promise, oh, I'm going to show you real-time. Bill Gates is my friend, what my man, mama. It's not like that. But tickets, when it comes to tickets, it's very important point. And some real-time scenarios you have to learn from here. Ticket-based work. Before that, what is the meaning of ticket? Generally, in the class, today's class, only I given some scenario to you. Application connects to database. User connects to application. See, find out the link and application connects to database. User connects to application. But by using application, user is going to work with the database. This is the scenario we discussed earlier in the class today. So not only that, and sometimes what happens, indirect user interaction, direct user interaction, many scenarios you are going to learn in the coming sessions. When they are working with the databases, generally they face some issues, right? And generally they face some issues. If any issue is there, okay, if any issue is there, any issue they are facing, they will send it to DBA team in the form of ticket. Ticket means simply I can say error message. Error message. Okay, you have to resolve it. That is the meaning of ticket. Simple, very simple scenario. But here important point, and generally we work with SLAs. SLA means service level agreement. It's the agreement between your company and client. It will be done in the beginning of the project. Suppose you want to continue with this training, you'll talk to this training team guys. They will give you some promises, 40 days, 45 days, we are going to finish, and we will provide recorded sessions, we will provide running, soft copy material, and we'll provide interview questions. Like this, they're going to give some promises. That is called agreement between you and your institution, right? And same way, when you are working with some client, means some agreement will be there between your client and company, your organization. We call it as SLA, service level agreement. Based on SLA, ticket priorities and resolution timings will be defined. Different companies maintains different SLAs, different ticket priorities, different resolution timings, and that is not standard. Some people will teach DBA 40 days, 45 days. Some people will finish it in 30 days only. That is their choice, right? In the same way, different SLAs will be there. So in our organization, we are maintaining P1, P2, P3, and P4. These are the SLAs we are maintaining. Priorities. P1 ticket, immediate resolution required. P2 ticket, you can take 48 hours time for the resolution. P3 tickets, you can take 4 days time for the resolution. P4 ticket, you can take 1 week time for the resolution. Right, Andy? It looks like target job because there is some priority and resolution time. If I'm not resolving ticket within the resolution time, what happens? Escalations will be done. Arey Bob, it is target job, I cannot do it. Don't worry. It's not like that because it looks like target job, but if you are doing some hard work, it will be easy for you. What happens, maximum scenarios, okay? We receive same tickets. Same tickets will be there. For example, user, I'll give you a simple example. Of course, generally every demo I use this only because I want to share more scenarios in regular class only. In demo, I cannot share everything, right? 18456 error number also I'm giving. You received this ticket. What is the meaning of this one? Invalid login name. Spell mistake, don't mind. In the same way, invalid password. User is connecting to database. They are providing invalid login, invalid password. They will get 18456 error. Now in this training, I'm going to explain about it. I'm going to show you what is the resolution, how to handle the client, everything I'm going to explain. And you're going to, when you're going to work as DBA, same thing you're going to do there, right? So after that, whenever you're going to receive same ticket, same reason will be there for the issue and the same resolution will be there. Then no need to worry about that, right? Almost we receive repeated tickets only, same tickets only, right? And but only thing is it requires some hard work. Practical knowledge is very much required here. You have to concentrate on that area, practical area. Of course, different prioritized tickets you are going to receive, no doubt. Based on priority, you have to work accordingly. But still no issues. If you are strong in practical area, everything will be easy for you. Otherwise, everything will be difficult. And moreover, here even tickets also, maximum tickets we receive related to performance tuning only. Maximum we receive performance tuning related tickets only. Right? And so development related scenarios, coming to performance tuning, development related scenarios also I'm going to discuss. So they are going to help you a lot. So these are the things I'm going to cover in this training. That's all about the introduction part of the database administration for today. And now, do you have any questions, technical questions, please? Any technical questions, please, related to this training? Anybody, please? Yeah, tell me. Yeah, not only production support, it is configuration related also. Okay. Not completely. Some part of the development I'm going to discuss here. Okay, na? Right. Anybody, please? Any questions? Right. All of you, regular class already started today. It is not only demo, class number 1 also. Class number 1 also. Interesting people who wants to continue this training, please talk to your training teams and we'll continue tomorrow also same time. Okay, na? Weekly 5 sessions
Okay,
will be there Monday to Friday. Right? Okay then. See you. Deepak Yadav, tell me.
Sir, I want to join continue.
Continue. Okay. There are some other guys. Suresh, are you looking for DBA training or development? Suresh, can you hear me? Suresh, I think we cannot hear you. Please send message. And Ramji is also there. Ramji, are you looking for development training or DBA? Suresh, message please. Suresh and Ramji, are you looking for development training or administration training? See, I am sending message to you. Hi. You can reply with the message. No problem. You can use that chat facility, right? Oh, because here advantage is Ramji. If you enroll for DB, you can attend development also free of cost. Okay, na? Development class is also going to start from next Monday 5 p.m. 5 p.m. development, and today already we started DBA at 8 p.m. Okay, right? So this guy Suraj is also looking for DBA only. Okay, let's continue tomorrow same time. Okay, na? Right? Okay, guys. See you then.